Tura, congratulations. After a drawn-out process to secure a licence, Norwegian Airlines is now operating transatlantic flights between Dublin, Cork and Shannon airports and the US. How has it been for you?
It's been very exciting. Again, I think we've been waiting more than 3 years to, first of all, get the license and basically to get the airplanes up flying transatlantic. It's been, it's been a lot about it in the media. It's been back and forth. And again, we had some fantastic support from the regulators here, from the business community, from the people of Ireland, basically, to get the license and to be able to start flying. And I think we've been flying for about a month now.
And how has it been so far?
It's been good. Loads are, I think we even officially said it, not to repeat that, but I think we have never launched route with selling tickets that quickly as we have done. And that's basically out from both Cork, Shannon, Dublin and Belfast, for that sake. It's been fantastic. We are flying full flights.
That's fantastic.
And forward sales are very good. So
great. And is it both outbound traffic in terms of Irish people going to the States, but also crucially inbound traffic, i.e. American tourists and visitors coming to Ireland?
It's a combination of both. However, what we do expect to see is actually to get more people from the US flying into Ireland.
Yes, yeah.
That's our assumption. We see that
it's a bigger market.
It is a bigger market indeed, and also we see with low fares you do attract a different segment. You're growing the market, so people that couldn't afford to fly before, they can now do it, and that obviously is the same in Ireland as in the US, but with the bigger catchment areas over there, we do attract a lot of people.
Great.
So our intention is to bring not just the Irish on cheap fares over to the US, but I do think that we will get a lot of US people coming over here.
Yeah, and of course it's a great year at the moment for US tourists into Ireland. It's about 20% up on last year, and of course your flights, the Norwegian flights, will only help that going forward.
It is indeed. Economy in the US is growing, and yeah, just as you say, the tourist rates here are up 20+%. We see Dublin Airport is full. I see Dublin is full. I see Ireland is full of people, and it's and we see that on our flights. We are flying close to 100% loads on these transatlantic flights.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's from day one, and again, we do think it's where the economy is today. It totally makes sense to launch these routes, and we are certain that we will. Or I think actually, given the load and given how these routes have been received, I think first of all it shows that people were waiting for this type of product. And again, we know for a fact that low fares grow the market, and context of the economy as well. It's great.
That low fares proposition, it's certainly been proven in the short haul markets, but you're proving that it's also working in the long haul markets and the transatlantic routes as well. Fares do stimulate demand.
Fares do stimulate demand, and you know what, especially in Europe, we've been quite used to low fares going domestic over the years with low-cost carriers. But as you say, yes, low fares do stimulate the market, and especially transatlantic, you have the legacy carriers and the players that be flying. They have protected that market for years, and they are ripping people off flying there. So that the market want the product we are providing, I'm very certain, and we see that again on the load. I think this will be good. It's good for us, it's good for Ireland, it's good for US, and it's good for the tourist industry.
Absolutely, it's good for the consumer.
Yeah.
Quite excitingly, you've started a transatlantic route to and from Cork, which is for the first time ever. I think Cork Airport is over 50 years old, and it's the first ever transatlantic flight. That's very exciting. Yeah,
it's very exciting. I was down in Cork on the first flight back on July 1st, I think it was. I've never seen something like that. The excitement, the support from the community, the whole setup was, I'm not sure if the word is insane, but that's my way of saying passionate, I guess is the word. It was crazy. So it's in a very positive way. So it's I do know that Cork, this is the first direct transatlantic flight. They obviously something they have been wanting for a long time, and for us, first of all, to be able to provide that to to Cork is great, and also that part of Ireland is fantastic, and our route from Cork over to Providence to New England. First of all, going over to New England is a fantastic area. It's also quite close to Boston, but also the catchment area of New England to get tourists into Ireland, into Cork, into that area of Ireland is fantastic, I think.
Yeah. You mentioned Providence, Rhode Island, and the other airport is Stewart International Airport. They wouldn't be recognised as the main airports for Boston and New York, but I suppose that's part of your model, part of your low fare strategy that you've used over the years.
It is. So it's correct. They're not necessarily the main airport in context of where people are used to fly into. Take an example of Stewart outside New York.
Yes.
Stewart by car is or by bus is depending on traffic, 45-60 minutes outside New York. Again, Stewart we are, I believe, the only international carrier flying in there. When you arrive into Stewart, from when the brakes are on the airplane, you'll be out of that airport within 20 minutes, including your luggage. Obviously, out of Shannon and Dublin today, we have pre-clearance. But if you're able to get Cork flights over to Shannon and you have to do immigration over there, I'll bet you'll be quicker in at Manhattan with our bus service out of Stewart. When you take into account the time at, as an example, JFK, you're stuck in immigration, you're stuck waiting for luggage for, I don't know, I've been an hour doing that.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, no, it's not the main airport. It's an airport that we hope to grow traffic to. It is very easy accessible into the big catchment areas. It's and yes, it gives us the possibility to provide low fares.
Yeah, because I suppose landing charges and the like are more cost efficient in those airports than say in JFK or in other central airports.
They are indeed. Landing charges and airport charges are high. Traffic is high, so utilization, it's a longer turnaround on aircraft, everything. So the efficiency of going into small airports, both for us as an airline and for passengers, we think is good.
Great. You're the third largest low-cost carrier in Europe, and you're award-winning too, of course. What are plans globally, if you like, for Norwegian into the future? And then I suppose, what are plans for Ireland into the future? Because you've only just started in Ireland after, as you say, a 3-year wait. So I presume you've got ambitious plans for this country, as well as sort of the global picture of Norwegian.
We do indeed. We have a lot of airplanes on order. We take delivery of new airplanes every week, basically. So
how many airplanes at the moment?
Yeah, so sometimes I struggle to keep count of them. We have about 250 airplanes on order in total.
Wow,
that's a combination of small and big airplanes. So yeah, what's our strategy? I think we actually have a vision that we are going to fly where people want to fly, and we're going to make it to affordable for people to fly. So where again with today we operate a fleet of close to 150 airplanes over the group, and again with a lot of more airplanes coming, you will see routes both across Europe and across different continents. And yes, I'm very certain that there will be more routes out of Ireland as well.
Very good.
Yes. And as long as if people want to fly, we'll provide the capacity.
Yeah, if there's demand there.
So if there's demand, and again, as you say, tourism is up 24% in Ireland this year. So of course it shows that there's a great market.
A very strong US market.
Yeah, it is.
You fly from Belfast, Dublin, Cork, and Shannon. It's nearly surprising to a certain extent that you've spread your services across those 4 airports. And there's only so much of a catchment area in each of those. But I suppose, as you say, there's big opportunities abroad to send visitors into those catchment areas. So you're not just dependent on the outbound market from Ireland filling your aircraft. You're also very much focusing on the inbound traffic.
Yeah, it's a typical, I wouldn't say misunderstanding, but it's a typical assumption to do that, or also was made for our Irish route. So just as you're saying, how can you justify flying Cork, Shannon, Dublin and Belfast? It's 2 hours between them. Again, that's, if you assume that, you're also assuming that we are trying to catch the Irish market going into the US. It's actually opposite. We are more than happy to fly the Irish for cheap fares over the Atlantic, but we actually think we will attract the US market flying into Ireland.
Very good.
And then again, there's a lot of Irish people with Irish ancestors living over in the US that wants to come back here.
There's a big diaspora.
Yeah, there is. And then also we have one thing is for the US as Ireland as an end destination, you can also connect. In Cork there are great connections into Europe. Shannon as well, Dublin obviously, Belfast also. So it's there's a lot of combination for why.
Yes, it's point to point traffic, but also connecting traffic.
Yes, correct.
What are your views on Brexit? Because there's a lot of kind of concern at the moment that Brexit will impact on aviation. The Open Skies Agreement, if the UK leaves the single market, it leaves the Open Skies Agreement. And we're all anxious in the tourism industry that a replacement is put in place. And no doubt Norwegian is the same. None of us would want any restrictions on air access.
Obviously, nor do we. I guess the worrying thing with Brexit is the uncertainty.
Yes.
Not knowing.
Yeah.
And obviously, again, if Theresa May keeps speaking about the hard Brexit means that it will just happen, and it's per definition there are no bilateral agreements to the EU then. In the worst case scenario, you're stuck.
Yes.
You will not be allowed to fly nor into the UK or out of UK. So it's then again, is it realistically to believe we will be there? Yes and no. From airline point of view, we need some time for planning.
Absolutely.
It's not that we can wait to again, I think Britain is to leave the EU in March 2019 something.
That's right.
We can't wait until March. We need to know like next summer, end of next year.
There has to be some certainty.
Yeah, there needs to be some certainty.
Yeah.
Then again, I think it's a worst case scenario that nothing will be there. But it's the uncertainty, it's difficult.
Absolutely. Well, let's hope common sense prevails and the UK and the EU do reach an agreement on aviation, because it's too important to leave until the last minute.
It's important for the economy, it's important for business, it's important for everything. It can't happen. So it's, I hope they get the grips together and...
Great. Tura, thank you so much. Congratulations on Norwegian's success in Ireland, and we wish you every success into the future and for the years ahead.
Thank you so much, Owen.